so happy to have you here.
In this video, we will talk about 4 easy ways to start your video game.
But first, let's get cozy.
So, number 1 should be theme. From a whole pool of ideas, from apocalyptic to medieval crafting, it can be overwhelming to choose the theme that you like. But if you choose that theme that inspires you and speaks to you, you don't stray from the path and you have a more clear vision on how your game should look like. For instance, on Find Eden, we have horror-like, story-rich, full of cats.
Yeah, and because we don't want to just go for horror or scary, we wanted to also include something cozy. But you can align on these things on the go. You're like, okay, this is a trend right now, and you can choose to go for that, or you can choose to go something that, as he said, inspires you, and then work around it. Okay, maybe I don't want it to be the generic apocalyptic game. Maybe I want it to be about bunnies. How would an apocalypse for bunnies look? And then you just go specific. That's the idea. You need to have a clear vision of what you're going for. That's really helpful. The second thing that we recommend when starting a game is to determine a storyline. It helps to create an emotional experience for the player. It's really helpful to be relatable to the player. Like taking, I don't know, a general thing that's happening right now and turning it into something that's presented in your game. It's going to make the player feel like he knows something about it, feel like he can be implicated about it.
I agree, and through storyline, people just remember the feeling they had when playing your game. After you finish the game, you remain with a feeling that attracts you to the memories of how you felt when playing that game. And it's like, why do I feel like this? It's because of the storyline and how relatable it was.
Yeah, it gives you the feeling that you need to get implicated. You want to be part of it.
Yes, it's a part of the adventure. That's what the storyline does. Number 3, styles and aesthetics.
For example, if you want to, let's go for horror again, because it's a very specific thing. You won't go for popping colors or something, but oh my god, maybe you can. Like, you can reinvent this topic and do something really weird about it and still create the scary, the exhilarating part of the jump scare, let's say. Because if the player gets used to a vibe that you show, he can get into that mood without trying too hard because he knows what to expect.
It's like the game speaks for itself. It's very important to determine what your game will look like, 2D, 3D, VR, and everything that we're talking here about helps you narrow down a path that it's more difficult to stray from. Just enhance how you work on it and how mentally prepared you are to give your best for your game.
Yeah, and it also gives this opportunity to be more disciplined and to actually hold yourself to creating this game. In 5 weeks, when you're done with this, when you're not inspired anymore, you're gonna look at it like, yeah, but this helps. Like, if all of this is aligned, then the marketing and the idea of giving it further and making it something successful is so much easier.
By the way, if you like this video and our setup, and if you like what we're talking about, please leave a comment, like, and share it.
The last and final thing that can make a game really successful is to create either a main character, because that's most games, they have the reason why you have that person that you represent in the game, or you have a purpose. For example, in Minecraft, you don't necessarily care who you're playing as, you're more about what you're creating.
A main character in a video game, it's what makes you remember the game like a storyline. But like, if you try to remember the games that you played as a child, main character definition is a pretty powerful tool because it has a development. As the user progresses in your video game, also does the character, and the decisions the user takes for the character are very impactful. It just hooks the player in your video game and he is more eager to share it with others. Because in the end, the purpose of your video game is to have players playing it, sharing with others and having fun. That's a video game. An amazing game that meets all these criteria is League of Legends. It has the purpose of beating the enemy team, but also each character has a storyline. I mean, if you've seen Arcane, the series, which is amazing by the way, we loved it, it's about the characters from the game that the developers gave a story long ago. How can we make Jinx more relatable? Let's give her this and this backstories. They had storylines, main character, purpose, themes and styles.
Another great game that follows these things is Find Eden. So leave us a wish list on the link below.
Thank you for watching this video so far. Hope you liked it. Also leave a comment of what's your favorite video game We're very eager to read the comments and what games were most impactful to you.
Yeah, and if you have any questions about finding this concept or the storyline or the main character, whatever, you can always comment on this video and we can very happily come back to you and talk about this in other videos if you need any more details. Thank you for watching.
Joe.
Joe.
Joe. It was the heartwarming feeling of Geralt that attracted us to the game and how his purpose was to find Ciri. Memorable and